Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we are going to understand the next important concept, and that is benchmarking. We are going to understand this concept in 4 parts. The first part is about what is benchmarking and why is it needed to use this tool. In next part, we are going to understand what are the different number of steps that we need to follow while application of this benchmarking tool. And in last part, we are going to understand what are the different types of benchmarking with the help of practical example. So let's begin. The first part is what is benchmarking. Benchmarking is nothing but the external comparisons with outstanding processes or products that might be internal or external to improve the existing process or products. Benchmarking is also a very important technique that will assist a Lean Six Sigma team in setting the targets and finding the new ways to achieve them. This benchmarking technique is also helpful when your quality improvement team is run out of ideas. That means if you want to improve your product, services or processes and you don't have any ideas, benchmarking is the best tool or technique to start with. Let's move to the next question, which is very important, and that is why is it needed? The benchmarking is needed when we want to improve the performance of our product, services or processes. It is also helpful in meeting the quality standards. It is also helpful to meet the customer expectations by implementing your product, services or processes. And the benchmarking is also important for innovation because this is initiating the innovation. So up to this point, we have understood that what is meant by the benchmarking and why it is important for every single organization, industry or company. The next part in learning of benchmarking is to understand what are the different steps or what is the systematic approach that we need to follow while application of this technique. It consists of the 4 steps. The first step is about to understand and analyze the operation. This is required for the improvement of your product, process or services. The second step is about to know the competition and the industry leaders. So you need to understand who is the industry leader for your respective product, service or the processes. In third step, you need to understand what is the best of the best and you need to incorporate that into your product, service or processes. And into the last step, we need to gain the superiority by application of the principles from that particular product, service and processes into your product, service or processes. From understanding the systematic implementation approach, you might understood that this benchmarking concept is applicable to any kind of product, services or processes. The next part is about the types of benchmarking. So there are different types of benchmarking are available depending on the application of this technique. Mainly there are 4 types of benchmarking are available. The first one is internal benchmarking. The second one is competitive benchmarking. The third one is functional benchmarking. And the last one is collaborative benchmarking. We are going to understand each of these benchmarking with the help of practical example in detail. The first one is internal benchmarking. As the name suggests, we are going to benchmark internal resources. That means in internal benchmarking, we are going to benchmark other department, product or processes in the same organization. This internal benchmarking is many times limited by the organization culture, norms and history. For example, we are doing the internal benchmarking when consumable cost in one department in the company compared to the other department. In this example, we are benchmarking the other department in the same organization. In competitive benchmarking, we benchmark best industry practices outside the organization but within the same industry type. The competitive benchmarking is also limited depending on the selection of benchmark industry. For example, we are doing the competitive benchmarking when we compare the performance and quality of the similar product or services offered by the different organization like cost of the product and performance of the services. In third type of benchmarking, that means in functional benchmarking, we benchmark similar functions outside of the organization industry. The benefit about the functional benchmarking is that it provides large opportunities to achieve high level of performance. For example, if we take an example for the functional benchmarking, we can compare copper mining technique to the coal mining technique. In this example, we are going to benchmark the function, not the industry. The last type of benchmarking is collaborative benchmarking. In collaborative benchmarking, we benchmark with the cooperation between various functions or organizations. This is the best benchmarking because it gives the innovative solutions and best results. If we take an example for this collaborative benchmarking, we can say that excellent camera function in mobile phones. That means we are benchmarking camera for implement the camera functions into the mobile phones. These are the 4 types of benchmarking depending on what you want to benchmark. If you go into the detail of types of benchmarking, there are too many types available depending on application of that particular technique. But these are the 4 important and main types of benchmarking. There are other 3 types of benchmarking is also available, and let's understand what are they. The first one is process benchmarking, the second one is performance benchmarking, and the third one is strategic benchmarking. Let's understand each of these benchmarking in short. Process benchmarking demonstrate how top performing companies accomplish the specific process in question. This type of benchmarking is collected through research, surveys, interviews, or the site visits. This is a very helpful benchmarking that supports the decision making by executives. The second one is performance benchmarking. In performance benchmarking, as the name indicates, it gives numerical standard against which a client's own processes, product or services can be compared. This performance benchmarking is determined through a detailed and carefully analyzed surveys or interviews that in turn identify performance gaps to find opportunities for the improvements. And the last type of benchmarking is strategic benchmarking. In strategic benchmarking, we identify the winning strategies that have enabled high performing companies to be successful. In this benchmarking, we examine how companies compete and is ideal for the corporations with a long-term perspective. So these are the other 3 types of benchmarking. As a summary, in this video we have learned what is benchmarking, why is it needed, what are the different steps in benchmarking, and what are the multiple types of benchmarking. At the end of this video, if you like this content, please like the video, subscribe the channel, and if you want to learn the Lean Six Sigma in most effective, practical and efficient way, then please visit at vijaysabe.co/training and vijaysabe.co/join. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.